Steve White, Checkpoint 89 for Steve Arts 89. I just had to comment on this because it's kind of funny. I know it's not new. It's not news. But when Star Trek Discovery was cancelled during, I think, post-production, I think they had actually finished filming, but post-production on season 5, Kurtzman, that was, selling the show as if it was going to go on for a long time. That was the flagship of the series and so forth. And then they canned it in the 5th year. Why did they can it in the 5th year? Because they were contractually obligated to do 5 years and they couldn't get out of it before then. As soon as they could, the show was done. And how the actors didn't know this, I don't know, because we knew it. I knew it was only going for 5 years, and everyone else was saying it was only going to go for 5 years. Because back when they were saying it was going to be cancelled every year, because that's what we wanted to hear, other people were actually saying, no, I don't think so. I think it's going to go 5 years because that's what they're contractually obligated to, and they can't get out of it unless they want to pay out and all this sort of stuff. And it's just easier to just keep making the show and losing a small amount of money than being sued and losing a big amount of money. So Netflix got out as soon as they could and dumped the show. But the rest of the contracts basically lasted out 5 years. But then, boom, done, gone, the end. And people were generally surprised. I wasn't surprised, really. I was relieved and excited, but I wasn't actually surprised because I had thought, about the 5 year thing. And I was like, is that true? Is that real? And yeah. So yeah, I just had to comment on that because I find it funny that people are still acting surprised because the 5th year is about to start showing. I don't know if it's starting Christmas or if we're seeing it early in 2024. I think we're not seeing it till 2024. Something else is happening around Christmas. I think. Prodigy is going to be showing the first season on Netflix Christmas. So that's our little Christmas present. Which I'm happy to leave under the tree or give back or re-gift. But yeah, so yeah, I had to comment on that for a minute because I just sort of found it's kind of funny that I just saw a few comments about people still acting like they were surprised that it ended, and I'm like, really? You didn't know about the 5 year thing? Because we were saying it along with a bunch of other things. But yeah, there are rumours that Warner Brothers is going to buy out Paramount. They're going to buy Secret Hideout and all that so they can get Star Trek, because it's just too difficult trying to buy it off Kurtzman and use it, because he owns the rights to the shows, the new shows and those characters, stuff like that. So he's very smart. He's a smart businessman. He's not a good director, not a good actor, not a good director, not a good anything except good businessman. He knows how to grift and how to, working his way into things so people can't get him back out. And they can't, even if they fired him, like everyone was saying every year, because that's what we wanted to hear, Kurtzman's been fired again, blah. Contracts don't work like that. Hollywood doesn't work like that. But we wanted it to. Even if they had fired him, they wouldn't be able to make the show without him because he owns certain elements, new elements to the shows they own. That's why they didn't use the old Star Trek and those elements, because they'd have to pay someone else. Or, they wouldn't own them and be able to do what now he's able to do, which is, so just a little curious thing. I just sort of thought it was funny that people were still surprised by this, and just wanted to comment on it because I just feel like talking about it. I need some YouTube therapy because I do miss Star Trek. I mean, we've been now, 18 years without Star Trek. It ended in 2005 and we haven't had new Star Trek since. I mean, I may guess we got season 3 of Picard. That's it. That's all we've had. That's hard because I love Star Trek. And yeah, I just think of all the money they wasted on their shows. Imagine if they'd spent that money on actual Star Trek. Intelligent, well-scripted shows that didn't need big budgets. It would have been amazing to see a modern... I just would love... I grew up with Star Trek, the 60s show in repeats, and then the 80s and 90s shows, and the 90s and noughties, and they were great. And I always wanted to see a real big budget Star Trek that actually, and we got the movies, but they just tried to be action films on current day Earth, so that didn't work. And these new shows are trying to be Star Wars and everything other than Star Trek. And I just thought, wow, amazing. What would we like if someone actually made a Star Trek show with like a budget of like 5 or 10 million an episode? How amazing could that be? Because we've never gotten that. But yet they spent all that money on those shows and we still didn't get Star Trek. But 5 minutes I'm still talking. But yeah. I'm going to go. And contemplate the fate of Star Trek. I think I need to marathon the original episodes. I haven't watched them for so long. It might help me with this, because just all this Kurtzman drama, it's just hurting my little Star Trek loving soul.